And you know something? And I thought about this for a while today, and this is one of those things. It's probably impossible to really separate feelings and do a control experiment on this. I don't even think the fans are upset that Daniel Bryan is not in the title picture as of right now. I think the fans, if they really think about this introspectively, are upset that we're not going to get a one-on-one Daniel Bryan match, or Brock Lesnar match.
I would love a Bryan versus Daniel Bryan match.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. No, but I think that if the title, whatever was happening with the title, could have been Roman Reigns and John Cena, even Seth Rollins if he won last night. I really think that these purist fans, these smarks, everybody, the match that people wanted to see, the match that I wanted to see, the match that we've been clamoring for over a year is
more than that.
Yeah, is the dream
since 28, since the night when Lesnar came back.
Exactly. Is this dream bout between Lesnar and Bryan, and it didn't have to be for the title. It could have just been the two of them tearing down the house at Mania. And the title just happened to get thrown into it because they're both title contenders. In fact, they've both been champions in the last year. And had that have happened, and Daniel Bryan winning the Rumble and Lesnar being the champion was the path of least resistance to get there. Now that that's off the table, Lesnar's still the champion, Daniel Bryan's not the Royal Rumble winner, that leaves that match completely, we're separated from that match pretty far at this point. And I think that's really what people are, if you think about it, that's really what people are probably upset about.
I don't think that's true at all.
I totally do.
I think people have... No. Listen. You guys talked for about a half an hour straight. I was sitting here quiet waiting for you guys to finish. I don't think that's true at all. I think, yeah, of course, people want to see Brock Lesnar and Daniel Bryan, but people want Daniel Bryan to win at all costs no matter what, and they definitely don't want Roman Reigns to win. So if John Cena was champion, they'd still want Daniel Bryan to win this Royal Rumble. They wouldn't have been happy about Reigns winning and saying, oh, okay, well, our consolation is that we get Daniel Bryan and Brock Lesnar. There's no way that crowd would have reacted that way.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
There's no way the crowd would have reacted that way if that were the case.
Put it this way.
They still would have been just
let's say Brock Lesnar lost last night, right? And let's say Seth Rollins came away with the win. The crowd's going nuts, because he's...
I know what you're saying.
Right.
People want to see Daniel Bryan as champion. They want to see him win the Royal Rumble and main event WrestleMania.
No. Feel this out for a second. So Seth Rollins wins the title last night or 2 nights ago. Mm-hmm. Daniel Bryan's in the Royal Rumble. Lesnar, just like Goldberg, runs in, F5s him, throws him over the rope. Oh my God, Lesnar just attacked Daniel Bryan.
That's different.
Right.
That's a different scenario.
It is. I'm talking about it. I'm talking about a different scenario.
Now we're fantasy booking, though.
Right.
That's not what the case is.
But I'm saying it isn't just as simple as he didn't win the Royal Rumble and now Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble. This puts a whole new dimension on what's happening, and the fans will immediately know we are now building toward a Bryan Lesnar match, and regardless of whether the title or not is involved, that's a match that everybody would love to see. The title would be second fiddle up to the same way that Taker and Punk was the main event of WrestleMania 29. It just wasn't on last.
I mean, Matt, can I clarify Matt's point without the fantasy booking to maybe clear it up a little bit, Sean?
Please.
Before you, because you've been, hard disagreeing it. Let me get to the heart of the matter of Matt's point. I wanted to, piggyback on that in a way because I wanted to get to this point in the show is that minus all the fantasy booking, the fact of the matter is Daniel Bryan's the most over guy in the company, period. That's it. We've established this. We talk about this every week. He's the most over guy in the company, and the fan base, they're upset that he's not the Austin right now, the guy, because he is clearly the most over guy in the company. No one connects with the crowd like Daniel Bryan. And granted, because he's the most over guy in the company, the natural feeling is you want him to win, be the champion, blah, blah, this and that. Yes, Sean, you are right that people want to see that for sure. But I think, how Matt's saying, if people really just thought about it, or especially a guy like me, he's my favorite wrestler ever in the world. He's beaten Shawn Michaels. Bryan Danielson is my favorite wrestler, period, all right? The thing is, it would be just fine as long as a guy who's that over is still going to the biggest show of the year and is in an important featured match, or he's an important featured guy on the show. Because the thing is, when you have the most over guy and you go to WrestleMania and you put him in the mid-card with Sheamus, which is what's friggin' penciled in for the millionth time, they're going to finally the match we wanted last year, you're just going to get the damn Sheamus match. He's going to go out there in the middle of the show, people are going to go crazy, and then when he's gone, people are going to care less about everything else because he's the most over guy. As long as he's near the top of the card, whether it's the title match, whether it's against Lesnar, as long as he's up there, it's a difference. You know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? Like Matt said, it doesn't have to be the title match. We don't have to fantasy book the crap out of it. But when you have the guy who is clearly the most over guy in the company, and you as the company don't treat him that way, that's what makes people angry. Do you know what I mean? Yes, they want him to be in the title match, but if they gave him something as good that people can really get invested in, they would be okay with, now here's Roman Reigns just, being the champion over here.
I don't think that. I think part of what you're saying is true.
People would still be upset.
I think part of what you're saying is true, but I think nobody in a crowd of 15,000 people who aren't quite as smart as that, the whole crowd isn't going to stop and just say, okay, well that's fine. No, they're still going to boo the crap out of Roman Reigns.
I agree, but at least in the end, we can still, have Daniel Bryan in a featured match. But the fact is, now that we're looking at a guy that people aren't really behind is going to main event the show in a match that no one really wants to see. No one wants to see Roman Reigns.
Right. I think that's the real issue.
Listen. My bigger issue in all of this was how for the past, however many several months, everybody was all upset and all up in arms about how predictable this whole Roman Reigns thing was, and how they were forcing it down our throats. It's so predictable that this is going to happen.
I don't think I never heard that argument. I just heard people.
Are you kidding me? Either. I don't know about the word predictable. That was my thing against you last night. I don't know predictable. It was just
everybody.
What we were hearing was that the hot rumor was that this was going to happen, and people didn't want it to happen. Not that it was predictable.
Of course, but people they've been saying it to them for months that this is going to happen. Nobody wanted to see it happen because they've been saying it, and that's a big part of it.
Predictability is not the issue here. It was for months. It was
definitely not.
Here's the guy that we want. Here's the guy that we think they're going to give us. And it was, I hope the guy we want wins, but one of those two. It was always one of those two guys. I mean, it really was. We said other guys.
Well, I think we're going down a bad path where now all of a sudden the fans. It's WWE can't write a show, and you can't allow the fans to write your show for you. So now what happens?
I think it's more than writing it for you, bro.
Of course it is.
Were they when Austin?
Because now every time. No, listen, and now because now every time that the fans don't get exactly what they want, now you're gonna have a riot.
No, because here's the thing. And now think back to Royal Rumble '99. Vince McMahon whoever threw it out Stone Cold. Was it Vince McMahon that actually threw him out, or was it someone else interfered? Either way,
I think with help, whatever.
Yeah, Vince McMahon wins the Royal Rumble. He gets nuclear heat, but it's not this rejection of what's happening. It's heat for the character in the story, because Austin, their guy, didn't win, and this will probably evolve into something else, but Austin is still the guy.
But you're comparing an era where there was better writing, and the fans respected the writing.
Okay, well,
now nobody respects it anymore, so now all the fans just try to pretty much write the show.
Well, the writing's not respectable, so that's why.
No, it's absolutely not. It's horrible.
But I just think if you have. I mean, fighting. I think we're at a point now. Just like fighting the Undertaker for years was really more of the creme de la creme than having a title match at Mania. Like Lesnar is in that echelon now. Like you have a match against Lesnar. Oh my God, you have arrived and you're making bank. And Daniel Bryan, he had just about one of the best Mania main events in the history of Mania main events. Like there's no way he can even. I don't think there's any way you could even top that in his career, that whole story and how that happened. So him having a big match with somebody like Lesnar, be it for the title or not at Mania, the fans would be more than okay with that. Yeah, you'd probably still have a few people that you can't make happy no matter what complaining about it, but it would just work, and it would be fine. And that's, I think there's a visceral reaction to that not happening because people thought we were going to get a Lesnar-Bryan match, and now it looks like, at least for the time being, we're not.